So Facebook is giving out $3 million to about 465 companies, and that amounts to around 6,400 per company, of which 4,000 is made up of cash and 2,400 is made up of advertising credits. So I thought I'd help you step through the application to look at some of the things that you need to focus on. So I've applied and I've registered my email address. So stepping through the application, it asks for obviously the applicant details, name, telephone number, date of birth, where you are residing, what your role in the company is. So enter the entity name as it appears on ASIC. And then we need to look at, just introduce yourself about what you do. So here I've got bullet point: assist companies prepare R&D tax incentive claims to get a rebate for the research and development activities. That amounts to 124 characters. You only got 300 characters, so not a lot to talk about what you do. And then you've got to describe what your ABN or ACN is, and you can only apply if you're in the suburb of Melbourne and Sydney. Now, apologies to the regional and other companies that have been affected. They've obviously got only $3 million for this, so it can't go to everyone. It's just a way to limit what they do, and they've chosen to do it around where their offices are. Their offices are in Sydney and Melbourne. So then work out, I guess, what your business entity type is. Most will be a private company. And then you need to put in your business industry code. That's just a 5-number descriptor of the company based on the ATO guide. So click on that. I've put in, I think, 69320, which is something like tax agent or something like that. It doesn't make that much difference. And then what are the principal activities conducted at this business? So once again, very quick description. A few yes and no questions. Prohibited from, restricted on advertising on Facebook. Most won't be that, so you confirm that yes, that is you. You need to be an operator for at least a year, so apologies to the startups that have been impacted by COVID. You need to be a for-profit, and once again, sorry, not-for-profits, this grant isn't applicable to you. And yes, you need to have 2 to 50 employees. So if you've got 1 employee, it's just yourself, unfortunately you don't qualify. So put in your address. For me, it's Victoria, based in Melbourne, and then were you audited? So Deloitte's on there. I think Deloitte's part of this program, but no auditing for me. Yes, I have a website, yada, yada, yada. So you need to upload, it's like a business document that bears your business setup and incorporation and registration date. So you need to provide proof of who you are. So I went and checked my ASIC records, and I've got my business name registration, which was from 5 years ago. And now we get into the meaty part of the application. Many businesses are facing challenges as a result of COVID-19. Select the top 3 situations that you've got. So have you lost staff? Reduction in staff salary, decline in sales. It's going to be many of these. So I don't think this one is a big issue and how you answer this one. But the next one is probably a bit more where you want to, this is where you're going to win essentially. Describe the impact and challenges posed by COVID to your business. Please don't provide any personal data. So here you've got 1,000 characters, so not a lot. They're really not going to have time to read through. They're going to get millions of these applications. So it's going to be very hard to, well, maybe not a million, but maybe hundreds of thousands of applications. So it's going to be very hard for them to dissect it. So it's going to be very quick and to the point. So the challenges are obviously reduced sales, reduced demand. So that's really the focus. Now, how would you use the grant? So you've got to think about that. Facebook is an advertiser, they're a private company. What do they want out of this? So there's obviously an objective that they want. They want, and obviously part of the grant is $2,400 for advertising dollars. So they're looking for sustainable businesses. So apologies to the companies that may perform, may not come out of this, but they're really looking for companies that either have transitioned or can transition and will continue to spend money on their Facebook advertising platform. So part of it is about, getting companies to taste advertising and then use that going forward. So then Facebook does make a return on investment of their $3 million. So look for things that will help transition you. So, paying suppliers, it may help you get over a hurdle or something like that. Paying rent. So I think anything that is about transition, I think, is a better focus to have a look at. So, paying pandemic-related expenses. So you may have to have new hand sanitizers. You may have to put up those shields. So that's about transition. It's not about ongoing costs that you may be suffering. So, for example, rent. You may find that hard to continue paying that for a long time, whereas a pandemic-related expenses is about a transition. It's a one-off cost. So try to look for that. So, here, G, sustained product development. You may be just at the cusp of transitioning your R&D and you're about to start making money and spending money on the platform. So that is something that I would have a look at. Paying loans and dividends to shareholders, no, do not touch that one, because that's just taking money out of the business. They want money to stay in the business and to take it forward. Others, I don't think it gives you an option. No, it doesn't. I wouldn't even put others either. So why do you need the grant? So 1,000 characters, don't put any personal data. So quick snapshot here, to change what you're doing and becoming more sustainable. So talk about how you're going to transition out of this, and talk about how advertising may help transition your business, create awareness. And if you have now created a digital product, big tick, you can advertise it and then sell it online. And then another one, doing good. So impact in your local community. So, job creation is a better one than job preservation. So all about growing. Community sponsorship and support. I wouldn't give that a big tick. Essential services. I'd say they're already in demand. But yeah, if you may know more about your industry in providing more essential services. So find something that helps your community. So for me, it might be giving more free information, providing free webinars to help businesses. So try to have some aspect how you're going to help others come out of this, and then also grow your own business. So they're the main sections. Then you've got a few declarations. That is in essence all of it. You've got until mid next week. So get out there and just give it a go. Good luck.